Hello guys, this is Vysh. So the chapter number 3 of Economics NCERT class 9th, that is Poverty as a Challenge. Okay, Poverty as a Challenge is the name of the chapter, and this is the textbook. Okay, you can download it freely from NCERT website, and if you are new to UPSC preparation, just WhatsApp me in this number, and then you don't have to join any coaching class. Everything is completely free. You can study from me. Okay, every textbook is done for free. So as usual, I'll show you the first UPSC question. Okay, so in a given year in India, official poverty lines are higher in some states than in others because, okay, so UPSC is asking this kind of ABCD also. It will look like a CSAT kind of question, but because everything will look very close, but still you have to answer. Okay, 2019, it's very recent question. So poverty rates vary from state to state, price levels vary from state to state, gross state product or the GSP varies from state to state, quality of public distribution varies from state to state. So what can be the reason that official poverty lines are higher in some states than in others? Okay, so this is the question number 1. And then one more question. Increase in absolute and per capita real GNP or gross national product do not connote a higher level of economic development if, okay, it will not show higher level of development if industrial output fails to keep pace with agricultural output fails to keep pace with industrial output, poverty and unemployment increase, imports grow faster than exports. Okay, so this is a 2018 question. So if you see back to back, they've asked a similar kind of question, ABCD type statement type question, and they're asking a reason or to justify the statement which is told in the question. Okay, it's a proper CSAT level question. Okay, but they have asked it in GS1 paper of the morning prelim. So this in detail at the end of this video we'll discuss. So if you are a very serious aspirant, only then watch till the end. Okay, because others, if you are simply watching for time pass, then it will not get you any gain. Okay. So chapter number 1, story of village Palampur we discussed, people as a resource we discussed, and now we'll discuss poverty as a challenge. And if you give me 100 likes and 100 comments today itself, tomorrow itself I'll try to do this chapter also. Okay, you just have to now itself pause the video, hit like button and put a comment like I am present, I am watching this. Okay, or live chat is also on there also, you can tell. So when you tell these things, we will get motivated to do more and more textbooks. Okay, now the class 9 is over means I'll do class 10 immediately, then 11, then 12, like that. Everything will be completely free in this particular platform and you don't need to go to any other source. Okay, so just put the like and comment now itself so that I can proceed. Okay, so poverty as a challenge. Now the index kind of thing. Okay, like what all will be there in a rough timeline. Challenges in poverty, urban versus rural poverty, interstate poverty levels, social exclusion, vulnerable groups, poverty line in India, global poverty line, causes of poverty, important schemes in India related to poverty, debt trap. Okay, so these are the more generalistic things which we'll discuss quickly. It's a very lengthy chapter in NCERT. Okay, 20-25 pages. I think more than that is there, but still I will make it simple and more interesting for you. Okay, and this week I completed Polity NCERT class 6th. Okay, so as I told again, you just have to watch these things, put a like and comment, and when you put that like and comment right in the latest one, last I think 9th chapter or something, see 9 videos. So 9th chapter, if you go and put like and comment, immediately I'll start class 7th. Okay, and again completely free. There's nothing to do. Just hit the subscribe button, like button, comment button. Okay, so do that also if you want now or after this session. Okay, now criteria, as I told, 100 likes, 100 comments in the previous video. This is the 2 chapters which is there in a single playlist. Okay, now this third one also will be added in the same playlist. And any textbooks, if you don't know how to find it, go to YouTube, in the search bar type Vysh IAS space and the textbook name. Okay, like NCERT history class 6, geography NCERT class 7, or if you take a Spectrum modern history, and English and Hinglish both are there. Okay, so these are all the thumbnails. If you see Spectrum, Tamil Nadu textbook, Nitin Singhania, fine arts textbook, environment and Lakshmikant, geography, economy, then mains also is there, GS1, GS2, GS3 and ethics, GS4. Everything is there completely free. Okay, not even a single rupees charge for all these things. There are more than 1600 lectures already available, and by end of this year I'll take it to up to maybe 10,000 lectures. Okay, because I'm planning to do every textbook which is there and different languages also. Okay, so try to support. So poverty as a challenge, as the name suggests for this chapter, in our daily life, you know, we'll see many people who we think are poor and how they'll be living. We would have seen, like when going in trains or buses and all, we'll see on the roads people and all. So we will think, okay, like what is like how we are so much what to say, we have good all the benefits and they are not getting. Okay, only when you see the poor you will understand. Else when you're sitting inside your house all the time, you will keep feeling like I don't have anything, everybody else has everything. But when you step out and see the people, you will see you have much more benefits than them. Okay, you are much more blessed than them. Okay, so these people, they could be like landless laborers in villages, or people in this cities. You will see like people are like in the slums they are, or like in the like they are begging on the streets, or they are doing some selling some pens on the traffic signals. So many things will be there which you don't have to do. Okay, you are much more privileged than them. Okay, so this could be, as I told, daily workers at construction site, or the child workers also. Even though child labor is banned, still you see in many dhabas and hotels and all, you will see 2-3 children working. Okay, So they, as I told, beggars, and all this is like indicating poverty around us. Okay, so poverty is the topic we are discussing. Poverty around us. In fact, every fifth person in India is poor. Okay, and India's population, yesterday it crossed China, and India is the number one population. In that also majority. Because of that reason, when you take the count, obviously the poor people count also will increase. Okay, so you cannot compare with numbers. You have to compare with percentages. Okay, so India's a very big percentage. Okay, that and all statistics from economic survey and international reports I'll show you in this lecture itself. Okay. So now, 270 million or 27 crore people in India live in poverty. Okay, as per 2011 status, okay, that time only census happened. Then this also means that India has the largest single concentration of poor in the world. Okay, and so that is why it is a very serious challenge also. So if you see, many causes can be there. Okay, and many indications can be there, or what are the things which they are lacking. Okay, like this food, water, sanitation, health, shelter. These are all things I think you all will have. Who is watching this video, you will have most of the things. Okay, may not be in the best condition or the luxurious manner and all, but you will be having access to all these things, including education, which I am providing to you now for free. Okay, and then money is the most important thing. Okay, with money only we'll tell whether some person is poor or rich. Okay, but money and facility is also important. That is why I mentioned all the facilities here. Okay, then there can be urban poverty and rural poverty. There can be interstate level poverty, like one states are rich, or within the state some are this thing, or maybe caste wise there is problems. So many parameters or this thing. Okay, parameters we have to check before deciding. Okay, why they are poor, or how many people of them are poor. So poverty means hunger and lack of shelter. Okay, this is also meaning of like poverty. It also is a situation in which parents are not able to send their children to school, or a situation where sick people cannot afford treatment. So health and education is a new way of telling, because maybe government would have provided houses by now. Okay, maybe just imagine such a situation. Then the next thing is they are still poor because some of them are getting education and health, but you are not getting that. So that time again you are poor only. So the poor factor, okay, it changes as when the timeline goes. Okay, what you told in 1950 as poor may not be poor in 2022. It can be, the definition can change. Okay, and in 2050 it can again change. Okay, by that time maybe getting computer network or internet, that can be the called poverty. Okay, if you don't have internet connection, so that it will change. Now poverty also means lack of clean water, sanitation facilities, or a regular job, minimum decent level salary, and it's all indicates something like sense of helplessness. Okay, helplessness. Poor people are in a situation in which they are ill-treated at almost every place. That is in farms, in factories, in government offices, hospital, railway station. You have to wait in the queue. You have to not get any privileged special this thing. Nobody will care about you because you don't have the money. Okay, those who have money will reach the front place, but you will not reach. Okay, because you don't have the money. So it's a kind of helplessness. All these things in your mains you can use. Okay, it's not only about prelims. In mains, when you have GS1 and GS2, in both poverty is a part of your syllabus. Okay, so GS1 and GS2 mains paper, you can include all these things in the mains answer. So obviously nobody would like to live in poverty, and one of the biggest challenge of independent India has been to bring millions of people out of this abject poverty. Okay, abject means kind of miserable, hopeless, meaning completely as if you are permanently there. That kind of thing, if you have to bring it out, it's a very big challenge. And Mahatma Gandhi always insisted that India would be truly independent only when the poorest of its people become free of human suffering. So if you have a mains answer and if you start with this sentence, okay, which is written in your NCERT, you will get one extra mark there itself. Okay, then one extra mark can bring at least 500 ranks above compared to other people. Okay, you don't know, maybe you don't know this because you are new to this preparation. Watch my foundation, which I'll give you in my WhatsApp. You will understand. One mark can change your ranks by at least 500 ranks. Okay, that is actually true in mains. In prelims also it can happen. So Mahatma Gandhi always insisted we are truly independent only when the poorest of its people become free of human suffering. Okay, now since poverty has many facets or many dimensions, social scientists look at it through a variety of indicators. Okay, so usually these indicators used relate to the levels of income and consumption, meaning how much you are earning and how much you are spending. Okay, so but now poverty is looked through other social indicators like illiteracy, lack of general resistance due to malnutrition, lack of access to healthcare, lack of job opportunity, lack of access to safe drinking water, sanitation, all these things which I told in chart, in theory, they have wrote it in NCERT. Okay, so this, if you see urban poor versus rural poor, this is not like a very standard definition and all, but just to understand. Okay, the people who are living below poverty lines in city and towns is called the urban poor. Okay, they are living in cities and towns. Their standard of living is much better compared to the people who are in the rural area, because these people will have made more facilities, maybe more transport facilities are there, more restaurants are there nearby to eat. They have a lot of options. Okay, even though they are earning less, they have considerable amount of access to education and healthcare also. If they want, schools at least are available. Okay, in rural villages, maybe sometimes school and hospitals won't even exist. Okay, then once a person falls into category of poor in the urban area, there's no way out. Okay, because you will become what? You will become casual laborers, you will become rag pickers, you will become beggars. From there, you are not going to get any promotion or anything. You are going to be permanently poor when you become an urban poor. Okay, but in this thing, rural, it is like either if it's landless, you will be working in someone else's place, or because maybe a bumper production, something suddenly happen overnight, maybe your earning can double, your earning can increase, and also government has more focus also towards that. Okay, from historically, if you see agriculture, doubling the farmer's income, at least if there are 100 schemes, 80 schemes will be more towards rural area and 20 schemes will be for urban area. Okay, that's always like that. And this time, the street vendors, for them and all schemes have introduced by this government. That's a good thing that I already explained in the POLITY NCERT. 2 complete slides are there explaining the PM Swanidhi scheme, which is for street vendors, which are in the urban poor category. Okay, so like that, as I told, watch every chapter. Okay, don't simply think I am already good in polity, I will watch only economics, then you will not clear UPSC. If you are watching my lectures, watch each and every episode. Okay, everything is free, and just sit and watch daily. You will be able to clear UPSC easily. Okay, so this also estimates, okay, like Tendulkar methodology, like this different methodology you will hear. Okay, meaning one person committee would have been there who will decide, okay, like if you have this much earning in a day, that means you are above poverty or you are below poverty. That decision is through different committees. So Tendulkar methodology is what mostly we use, and that again in the future slides I'll show you. Okay, these numbers are not very important. There's just a year by this category. Okay, like 93 we had 50% rural, 32% poor. Meaning this much percentage was the poverty level that time. Okay, and now obviously you will see it will come down only when the years go through. It will come down, and now it is again going down only. As of 2021, when you access the website of this statistics office, you will see this kind of numbers, the latest numbers. Okay, so just wanted to show you that. Now again, we will see, like as I told, there will be different people who are poor, different people who are rich. So social exclusion, okay, is one thing which can be a cause, also can be a consequence also. Okay, meaning it can be a reason why people are poor, or it can be the final output of someone being poor also. Okay, so if you see, the high caste people are having access to temple, they will be this thing, but the lower caste people will be like reserved for certain jobs, okay, including manual scavenging and all, which is slowly getting eliminated. So these kind of things are the like social exclusion. You are excluding one person or one group of people, and they end up like this. Okay, they have no access to the facilities because you have kept them aside. Okay, and because they are already poor, they'll end like that for many years. They'll end like that. Okay, so according to the concept, poverty must be seen in terms of the poor having to live only in the poor surrounding with other poor people, excluded from enjoying social equality of better off people. Meaning you are poor, so you live with the poor people only. You have no this thing to enter our temples. You cannot enter our 5-star hotels. You can, even if you earn money, you cannot come there. Okay, because you don't look like you deserve to come there. This and all you could have seen in movies and other things and all. So that is called social exclusion. So as I told, it can be both a cause as well as a consequence of poverty in the usual sense. This can come as a mains question itself. UPSC will put this statement until justify, explain, elucidate. Okay, and if you don't know the meaning of all these things, again, as I told, my foundation, I have taught this and all completely free. How to write a mains question, how will the mains question actually come, how is Vysh IAS mains answer writing test series beneficial for you, everything completely free of cost we have taught you in the foundation. Okay. Now, broadly, it is a process through which individuals or groups are excluded from facilities, benefits, and opportunities that others, that is the better people, they are enjoying. Okay, so these people are kept away or kept at a distance. Okay, and the main reason in India is the caste system also. Okay, they tell like, okay, you are from this caste, you cannot come with us. You are this caste, from your hotel, I won't eat food. Okay, this is still, you don't think it's like a thing of the past. Even now you go to underdeveloped states. Okay, you go to eastern side of India or the certain areas. Okay, where people are mostly from the, if you see scheduled caste, scheduled tribe people and all, if they start a business, the general category people will not go there and buy their things. Okay, they will go, a general category person will go only to a general category person. This includes in religion also. A Muslim will buy only from a Muslim shop. A Hindu will buy from a Hindu shop. These kind of things even today exist in everywhere. Even in the most literate states like Kerala, if you take, there and all these things are there. Okay, like Muslims will go to only Muslim shop. This is actually existing. Okay, it's not like 100% of people are doing that. I'm telling there are categories of people even now living like this. Okay, you can go and confirm with your friends there. It is like that only. Okay, so these differences are all examples of social exclusion. Okay, so this may cause more damage than having a very low income. Okay, having low income is a very silly problem that you can be solved when government helps you or many schemes come, it can be solved. But caste issues you cannot solve, a government cannot solve, a people has to change for that. Okay, people has to see everybody as same. Simply writing in papers all these things just to clear your exam is not enough. You yourself has to start accepting everyone. Okay, everyone around you. So now vulnerability, that is again the same thing. Vulnerable groups are there. There can be handicapped people, there can be widows, there can be youth who are from, as I told, a lower caste and still jobless even after having a degree. There are many people who don't have a skill. Okay, so people are begging on the streets. Okay, people cannot do a job which is actually as per their caliber. These kind of examples we see in our society. Okay, that same thing is written in theory here. So these people were poor and will continue to remain poor. Okay, you would have noticed another thing also. There is a mindset thing also. Okay, like you keep telling rich gets richer and poor gets poorer. Okay, but have you ever noticed, like, suppose a poor person, he wins a lottery ticket. Okay, and suppose it's like 5 crore rupee lottery, he wins it. But after 2-3 years, first 2-3 years, he'll be full time in the news and everything, and you will see certain things. But after 2-3 years, you will see that that person has ended up again in the middle class life or the poverty life. He did not know what to do with that money. He did not know what is investment. He simply gave it away to all the friends. He bought a one big house, and then after that, again EMI loan, something he did, and he spoiled his own this thing. So people are, it's not like rich gets richer and poor gets poorer. It is like people who don't know to handle money becomes poorer, and people who knows to handle money becomes richer. That is the actual concept. Okay, so these kind of things you will learn as and when your age increases and you see more and more people, you will learn all these things. Okay, but now you will still believe that rich people are all like cruel people. They are all capitalist. They are this thing. This is what is our government is also teaching to you. Okay, but things are slowly changing. Okay, you see when more and more private players are coming, more and more economy is growing, more people are getting job because of that. Our India is like having a good name in front of other countries because of that. You will slowly realize that capitalism and rich people is not like cruel people or bad people. Okay, we need everything. If India has to develop, we need rich people also, we need a little bit middle class people also, little bit lower level people also who will do something like the jobs like a barber shop or your plumbing this thing. If everybody become rich, that is also not good for the society. Okay, so that is how the system works. Okay, so now additional analysis is made for their social and economic ability to handle these risks. Okay, like lot of risk is there, which again, when something disaster happens also, it's always again the poor people, maybe they'll be suffering more. Rich people maybe with money, they'll be able to escape out of it because they have more facilities, more access to resources. Okay, so that kind of vulnerable audience is what we have tried to tell in this particular slide. Now, the poverty line concept, which is there in your history textbook, in your economics textbook, in your polity textbook. Okay, the first poverty line in India, I think it was by Dadabhai Naoroji or something. You can go and confirm. It's written in your spectrum textbook, and I have taught you also. So, poverty line is a line, meaning you tell like, okay, above this line is above poverty and then below poverty. Okay, meaning are you poor or not? That line is like not only in India, globally also we have. World Bank makes a line, poverty line. Okay, that and all I'll show you. So who have something and who does not have something, who is poor and who has wealth, that kind of thing, you will have a line. And like middle class is like hanging here in the middle. Okay, they don't know whether they're rich, they don't know whether they're poor. That is how the middle class life is, and we majority of people are middle class only. Okay, so at the center of the discussion of poverty is the concept of poverty line. A common method used to measure poverty is based on the income or consumption level. Again, I told you are earning something or you are spending something. Based on that only you tell. A person is considered poor if his or her income or consumption level falls below a given minimum level necessary to fulfill the basic needs. Okay, so basic needs, how you cover, based on that only this line is decided. Okay, so what is necessary to satisfy the basic needs is different at different times and in different countries. Okay, for example, also I'll tell you, okay, if you see in a country like in USA, okay, in USA, if you don't have a car, maybe you are considered a poor person. Okay, but in India, if you own a car itself, people will tell like you are a rich person, you are a luxurious person. Okay, so it changes from time to time, country to country, place to place, caste to caste, everything changes. Okay, so this is again an interesting line which you can include in your mains answers when you start an answer about poverty line. Okay, one point, as I told, you can write the history, like Dadabhai Naoroji introduced it first. Then you can tell like, okay, in international level, like World Bank level of poverty line is like this. Or you can tell it changes, this particular sentence, it changes from time to time or place to place. Like that, any very catchy line you have to always put in the starting of your answer, or any, even if it's a debate or if it's an interview UPSC board is asking you, you should know to open your line first. Okay, it's not like you think or tell very flowery languages. You have to tell that catchy line in the starting, and then people will be interested or people will know that, okay, you know something. Okay, now about the comparison of India's poor level people and others and all. While determining the poverty in India, a minimum level of food requirement, clothing, footwear, fuel and light, educational, medical requirement, etc. are determined for subsistence, meaning for your survival. Okay, so that's the basic needs. These physical quantities are multiplied by their prices in rupees. Okay, meaning to buy all these things for a day, you for need to survive, how much is there, they multiply with the rupees and they see how much is needed. The present formula for food requirement while estimating the poverty line is based on the desired calorie requirement, meaning how much calorie of food is like needed for you to survive. Okay, like cereals, pulses, vegetable oils, all these things are needed, right, for a person to survive. So the accepted average calorie requirement in India is 2,400 calorie per person per day in rural area and 2,100 calorie per person per day in urban area. This is the calculated one as of now in India. Okay, so since people living in rural areas, they engage in more physical work. Okay, they'll be carrying firewood from forest to the homes. They'll be doing some agricultural work. So physical work is more compared to urban people who are sitting in offices, or maybe it's differing, right? So based on that, the calorie requirement is more in rural area. That is why this is more. Okay. The monetary expenditure per capita needed for buying these calorie requirement in terms of foods and grains is revised periodically, taking into consideration the rise in prices. Okay, different price level things happen, which you will study in higher classes. That time, as per that, the formulas or the values will keep changing. Now, if you see 2011-12 index, if they take the base, if they take and calculate, poverty line for a person was fixed at rupees 816 per month for rural area and rupees 1,000 for urban area. Okay, this is the calculated per person thing. Okay, the needed income they are telling. Despite less calorie requirement, the higher amount for urban areas has been fixed because of high prices of many essential products. Okay, so you would have seen like here calorie requirement is more for whom? It is for rural. But the level, if pricing, if you see, it's puts more for urban. Why? Because in urban, to buy certain things, it is costlier. Okay, like vegetables, if you are buying in village market, it will be different cost, and you are buying it from the wholesale, the urban place, it will be higher cost. Okay, always the extra charges for their transport from village to the farms to the market, that will be high. So that is why the difference is there. In this way, in the year 2011-12, a family of 5 members living in rural area and earning less than about rupees 4080 per month will be below the poverty line. Okay, what is this 4080? Take this 816 and they are telling family of 5. So 816 into 5 is 4080. Okay, so that is how a family of 5 in rural area is considered that you are below the poverty line if your earning is less than that. And in urban area, if you see 1000 rupees is right for one person. So 5 people is 5000. So 5000 and below you are earning, and your 5-member family, you are below the poverty line. BPL, which we tell BPL card, you will get extra in ration card and all extra benefit will be there. Okay. So the poverty line is estimated periodically, that is normally every 5 years, by conducting sample surveys, and this is conducted by the National Sample Survey Organization, NSSO. Okay, these are not NSSO, CSO, all these are under the Ministry of Statistics. Okay, that you can go and check the website also. All these things will be listed there also. Okay, but I am taking from NCERT. Now the World Bank, as I told, they use a standard line. Same like this, they also have minimum availability of equivalent of $1.90 per person per day. Okay, 2011, this is what they calculated. They keep revising. You see 1990, 2001, 2009, 2015. As of latest one, it is $190. Okay, $1.90. This if you have, then above that is like you are not poor. Below that you are like absolute poverty. Okay, this is the thing. And in country wise also, if you see India's poor people, because we have more population, obviously our number of poor people also will be high. Okay, so that is the reason the country with the largest population in numbers, we are the highest. Okay, other places maybe percentage is higher, but the number, because we have huge population, is highest in India. Okay. It's again an NCERT chart where they show Nigeria, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, China. These are all the poor countries. So if you see African or South Asian countries are the ones always in the list when it comes to poor people. Okay. Then again, this is caste-wise thing which we will discuss. Vulnerable groups which I told. Okay. So there are people, as I told, in SC, this is like out of 100, I think. So out of 100, 40, if 100 SC people you take, out of that at least 43 SC people are poor. 100, this is ST. Then again SC, 100 SC you take, in that 29 will be poor. Definitely poor, they are telling. Then here average Indian poverty ratio, this is casual labor farm, casual non-farm, urban. So different type of people out of 100, how many are poor? They just showed you a graph. NCERT showed you a graph. Okay. Social groups which are most vulnerable are scheduled caste and scheduled tribe household. Okay. Because they have been from the past suffering lot of things from the higher caste. Okay. So all the average, although the average for people who below poverty line for all groups in India is 22, 43 out of 100 belong to ST. So this just again explaining this thing. Okay, explaining the chart. See 34%, this thing 34%. These are just explaining the chart. Now the double disadvantage concept. The double disadvantage of being a landless casual wage labor household in the socially disadvantaged group of scheduled caste, meaning you are having no land also, and you are falling under SC/ST caste also. So it's like a double disadvantage. Okay, like suppose you are landless and you are in a general category, maybe still you will get some help from your other rich general category people. Okay, but because you are SC/ST also and you are this thing also, landless labor also, it's like a double disadvantage problem. Okay, these are not in the answers you can include. So recent studies have shown that except for the scheduled tribe household, all the other three groups, that is scheduled caste, rural agriculture labor, and urban casual labor household, have seen a decline in poverty. Okay, meaning ST household are not declining too much, the poverty levels, but the other three groups are slowly declining the poverty in the 1990s. Okay, things are changing for them. So apart from these social groups, there is also inequality of income within a family. Okay, meaning within the family itself, maybe the women are not getting, even the family may be getting richer, but the woman is not given income. The elderly people are not getting anything. They have to live in the mercy of the one who is earning. Okay, then female infants. Again, women and elderly people are the ones who may be unequal in the family itself. Okay, so this again is an NCERT chart. If you see poverty ratio in selected Indian states as per 2011 census. So if you see Bihar, Orissa, Assam, Madhya Pradesh, so different things are given here. Okay, so here if you see Kerala and Himachal and all is like very low. Okay, so the poverty ratio is reducing in certain states, but it is still high in certain other states. So interstate disparities are there. Proportion of poor people is not the same in every state. Although the state level poverty has witnessed a secular decline from the levels of early 70s, the success rate of reducing poverty varies from state to state. Okay, recent estimate shows that the All India head count ratio was this much. These numbers are not important. Okay, that you have to take from the latest economic survey or the latest current affairs only. So that you don't have to worry. Okay, this graph, as I told, Bihar and Orissa, they are showing the poorest state. Then urban poverty is high in Orissa, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar and all. Significant decline in poverty in Kerala, Maharashtra, Andhra, Tamil Nadu and all. Then states like Punjab and Haryana have traditionally succeeded in reducing poverty. Okay, because of the agricultural growth. Okay, you know, the green revolution and all you will study. So because of that, they have been traditionally succeeded in reducing poverty. And Kerala focused more on human resource development. If you see in Kerala, there is no agriculture, there is no industries, there is nothing, but their human resources are excellent. Okay, the people are skilled and they have good education, good health care. So these people then go out, they go to countries like in the Middle East, they go to USA, they go to Canada, they go to even eastern side into this Malaysia, Indonesia and all, and they earn a lot and send back the money to Kerala. That's why their human resource is excellent in Kerala. Then again, if you take the West Bengal, they have a lot of land reform measures and all which helped in reducing poverty. Okay, in Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, the food grain distribution, public distribution food grains have been responsible and could have been responsible for the improvement. Meaning there, you know, when ministers come, they give a lot of like free ration, 1 rupee rice, 2 rupee rice, other than what the center declares. They from themselves put extra subsidies and give lot of food grains to people. So that also helps in reducing poverty. So every state has dealt this problem in a different way. Okay, that doesn't mean it's completely eliminated. Every state you go, still beggars will be there, still people on the streets are like trying to survive. This problem is there everywhere. Okay, but it is different in different states. Now in world level, okay, the proportion of people in different countries living in extreme economic poverty defined by the World Bank, as I told, $1.90 per day has fallen from 36% in 1990 to 10% in 2015, meaning that people are reducing, the number of people under poverty are reducing. Okay, and that varies again from region to region. If you see here, South Asia, Latin America, Sub-Saharan Africa, like that, they have showed you different things. Everywhere it's reduced. Okay, if you see South Asia and all, it was at this level and it has come down to this level. Then here again, the next one, Latin America or China or East Asia, like that, they have shown the graph, and this is taken from again World Bank database, poverty and equity database. And here, as I told, regional differences are there. Poverty declined substantially in China and Southeast Asian country as a result of rapid economic growth and massive investment in human resource development. As I told again, India is also now, we are doing the skilling, we are doing, even China did it 10 years ago. Okay, they made their people so capable that they are going to outside countries and bringing revenues for them. They are developing new things. Okay, now even the ChatGPT, which now USA or the Western countries have made, ChatGPT, that now China is telling that they already have such a system. Okay, and they will now commercialize it and launch it. Okay, so these people are so capable that when artificial intelligence took over the new era, they are already available with the things or the new platforms made out of that. Okay, So in the countries of South Asia, that is, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka and all, there has been a decline. And this everywhere it's like that. Sub-Saharan Africa also declined, Latin America also declined, and many places which did not have poverty, right? Their poverty started now. Okay, like places like Russia and all, earlier they were not considered like poor country and all. They are the permanent five country, they are the rich country, they have all the thing, but there are people there because they are engaging in wars and they are communism, and these people are not supporting the development activities, and they are focusing more on the war and other things, expanding their area. People may fall into poverty. Okay, so again this table shows different things, and this is this slide is only about this only comparison of the different regions of the world and how they are performing. Okay, so now this is again the same thing, but in NCERT in a very different way they have given the chart. Okay, like this, if you see East Asia and Pacific is this orange color, everything is reducing if you see, but this yellow color, Sub-Saharan Africa, that time also many were there, this time also many are there. So that means they are going to remain poor. If you see here, by 2030, forecast indicate that nearly 9 in 10 of the extreme poor will live in Sub-Saharan Africa. Meaning other places, this orange you see, the green you see, blue you see, they all, however they had too many people under poverty, they are reducing or bringing down the numbers. But this thing, Sub-Saharan African people, that time also they had high, now also they have high, and future also they will have high, and finally there will come a point where 9 out of 10 people in the world who are poor are in Sub-Saharan Africa. Okay, and the causes of poverty. Okay, in India we have this colonial past because Britishers destroyed all our industries and everything, and they started their own thing. Then population explosion, limited resources, weak institutions, corruption, lack of education and literacy, all these are causes. And in your mains answer, if you draw like a chart like this in the starting itself, there itself you get 1 or 2 extra marks. Okay, then you can expand on it easily. So there are a number of causes, and as I told, first thing is the British colonial administration. They ruined our traditional handicrafts and discouraged development of industries. Then the low rate of growth persisted until the 1980s also, because first few governments which came, we did not focus on capitalism, we did not focus on industrialization, we focused more on either agriculture or we were dependent on USA, China, Russia and all these things. So we did not do anything properly till the 1980s. After that, slowly, okay, 1990s onwards, you will know, we opened up the economy, LPG reforms came, and then we started becoming richer. Okay, even the first like kind of a Maruti car came into India that time only. Okay, till then nothing was there. Everything was like we tried to Indianize, or we tried to be dependent on others. So we could not open up our economy. Okay. And then we had a population issue. So we had obviously per capita income is low. So this full thing together is called the cycle of poverty. Okay, everything is like a cycle. Whatever you do, you are ending up in poverty only. With the spread of irrigation and green revolution, okay, in the 50s and 60s and all, that time, little bit, certain parts, okay, some parts of India, like Punjab, Haryana and all, they started getting more income. Okay, the industries, both in public and private sector, did provide some jobs, but these were not enough to absorb all the job seekers, because as per Indian population, we need a lot of jobs to be generated. Okay, so public and private there was very minimum that time. So public, like government companies itself cannot give too many jobs to everyone. Okay, now also that's the case. Like UPSC, which you are preparing for, 10 lakh people go and apply for just like 1,000 post is there, in which also only 100 people will get IAS. So you are actually doing something wrong, but still people want government job because of the benefits which will be like you will get later. Okay, but those who know properly that private job people are also earning in lakhs, they are also like going to other countries and settling. There are many things which is beneficial for both. Okay, but from childhood you think maybe public job is more secure, you get fixed income, you have all this free electricity bill, free this thing, free bungalow, free car, many things you think. Okay, but all these things now can be achieved with a normal private job also. Okay, depends on how good you perform there. So based on your skill, your performance, even without public and private, you yourself can start now. Okay, with Startup India and all these things, you can survive by yourself. You don't need all these things. So things are changing now, but those days there was no enough jobs, and even now in public there is lesser jobs. Private companies also you will see people are laying off employees from different companies. Okay, so people, what they do, they will become rickshaw pullers, they will become vendors, construction workers, domestic servants, and so as I told, once you enter into urban poverty, you will remain poor for longer time. Okay, there's like a kind of a permanent poverty, and then that's how the slums concept also started. Okay, in the main cities, they don't have place. Outskirts of the city, they built slums and they built their own colony. And now like India has the world's biggest slum. Okay, so that kind of thing is what is happening in the urban sector. Okay, so now another feature of high poverty rate has been the huge income inequality. Okay, one of the major reasons for unequal distribution of land and other resources. Meaning land, as I told, again, land reforms also has not been very successful in India, but we have done a lot of things. So land also, like many people have big land, but some people have less, like a smaller land, and then some will be like landless also. So despite many policies, we have not been able to tackle the issue in a meaningful manner. Major policy initiatives like land reforms, which aimed at redistribution of assets in rural areas, have not been implemented properly and effectively by most of the state governments. Okay, so this is the reason. In most states, it's not happening. In West Bengal, I think it is done to an extent. In maybe Tamil Nadu, it is done to an extent. But there are certain places still now the land distribution or the land reforms are not implemented. Okay, maybe center will pass a law, state also may pass a law, but it is not getting implemented. Okay, so this is also one of the major causes of poverty in India. Okay. Many other social, cultural and economic factors also are responsible for poverty. Okay, so small farmers need money to buy agriculture inputs like seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, etc. Poor people hardly have any saving, so they borrow. Unable to repay because of poverty, they become victims of indebtedness, or we call this debt trap which they have. Okay, you don't have money, you take loan, you cannot repay, you again go to money lender, you go to bank. This completely is like a vicious cycle and you end up in debt your entire life. Okay, then people start suiciding also. So high level of indebtedness is both the cause and effect of poverty. Okay, so this also can be a UPSC question. Okay, high level of indebtedness is both the cause and effect of poverty. Explain. Okay, that time you have to explain all these things, whatever you learned from here, what you see around you. UPSC is not like you study a textbook and then write ditto from that. Okay, if you do that and if everybody do that, obviously examiner will not give you marks. You have to write something from your own experience. You have to write something which you observe around you or you have experienced and which you have alone read. Okay, maybe you learned from a special mentor that they taught you extra things. So that things you have to put in your answer. Okay, don't think UPSC like other exams. For SSC, PSC and all, you can write by-hearted answers which you get from textbooks. But for UPSC, if you write a unique answer, only then you will clear. Okay. So anti-poverty measures, including India or state or the world, everybody are trying to remove poverty, and that is the major objective. Okay, including the world level sustainable development goal we have in United Nations. We have the SDG goals now, 2015 to 30. That is also for ending kind of poverty and making the life better for everyone. Okay, so two things are there. One is promotion of economic growth and one is targeted anti-poverty programs. Okay, you have to increase the income also. You have to remove the poverty also. So over a period of 30 years, lasting up to early 80s, there was little per capita income growth and not much reduction. Okay, as I told, till 80s there was no improvement. Official poverty estimates, which are about 45% in the early 1950s, remained the same even in the early 80s. And since the 80s, India's economic growth has been one of the fastest in the world. Even now, after COVID and all, when the entire world's GDP, any country you take, it will be 2.3, 2.1, 1.8 minus something. These are the next predicted GDPs. India's is going around 6 to 7%. Okay, India is the only country now because India has implemented many schemes which is useful for the future. Okay, we are skilling our people. We have introduced Digital India. Anywhere you can do digital things now. So world is coming here. You are seeing the Samsung is coming and building the biggest store in India. Apple is starting its first store in India. Everyone are coming to India. Okay, which earlier they used to do in China. In the next decade, everyone will come to India. Okay, so and also Make in India. We had this Make in India scheme also. Every scheme which has been implemented in the last 5 years is changing India's future. Okay, so this will continue hopefully, and we can see major drastic changes. Okay, so higher growth rate have helped significantly in the reduction of poverty. Therefore, it is becoming clear that there is a strong link between economic growth and poverty reduction. Economic growth widens opportunities and provides the resources needed to invest in human development. Okay, as I told, when more people come and start something here, there will be growth here. Economic growth will be there. That time, obviously, they will hire people. Then people will get more money. So that money will again come back to the market. And as form of taxes, it will go to the government. So the entire system improves if more capitalism or more jobs are created here or more outsiders are welcomed here. Okay. So this also encourages people to send their children, including the girl child, to school and hope to get economic returns from investing in education. I mean, people will understand that when you invest in education, these people will study and they can earn a better life. Okay, else these poor people think that why should I waste money on education? Instead, I will send him for begging or send him for some job. I'll get some income at least. Okay, why should I waste his days in school? So, but when things change, when time changes, people understand the value of education, and that also can get you economic returns. Okay, so however, the poor may not be able to take direct advantage from opportunities created by the economic growth. Moreover, growth in the agriculture sector is much below expectations. Okay, these are situations they are telling. How much ever you do, there are problems. Okay, that is why we need anti-poverty measures and many schemes, which we will discuss in the next 2-3 slides. Okay, so there is a clear need for targeted anti-poverty measures. So one very important scheme which the Congress government started, a very, very beneficial scheme, which even now the present government is also continuing. Okay, remaining, I think everything which Congress started, BJP would have stopped it or removed it because it was not working. It was useless for the country. Okay, or they are renaming it and adding the benefits. Okay, like if you see Ganga related scheme, it's there since the Rajiv Gandhi time. Okay, but Ganga river cleaning, they made Namami Gange a very professional kind of a scheme and very implementation level scheme only now. Okay, so they renamed and improved it. When many other, they deleted it, but Manrega, they kept it like that only, and every year the budget allocated for this is increasing. Okay, like 1 lakh crore, this much crore, 30,000 crore, you would have seen in the budget. They are putting, especially they are announcing for Manrega this much, because Manrega provides working 100 days of wage employment to every household. They don't need any skill, they don't need any degree, they don't need anything. They can come and work in like maybe digging wells, or maybe clearing the forest, or maybe soil erosion, something has to be done. Anything which is in the local level which you can do, even women and men, everybody can do, that is possible. Okay, so 1/3 of the proposed job has been reserved for women also. Okay, and they provide like 220 crore person days of employment to 4.78 crore household. The share of SC/ST women days in the scheme are 23%, 17% and 53% respectively. Okay, so caste wise and woman wise and gender wise, they have told how many percentage people are there. And the per day, whatever they used to get also, average wage was like 65 in 2006 to 132 in 2014. And now I think it's around 281 rupee per day they can earn. Okay, and almost everyday work will be there also. Okay, alternately different family members will work, because these when we are developing, obviously if it's like building road or bringing railways, anything you do infrastructure, you need people to do these ground level work also. So, and we have this much population that we can always make them available to do things. Okay, and this also state to state it varies. Okay, state to state, central will announce something, but state to state it will vary, and also depending on what work you are doing, it can vary. 281 in Haryana to 168 per day in Bihar and Jharkhand. Now again, different schemes, just one line. Pradhan Mantri, Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana is another scheme which was started in 1993. The aim of the program is to create a self-employment opportunity for educated unemployed youth. Okay, so this actually UPSC asked once. Okay, this exact word, educated unemployed. Okay, because sometimes they will tell uneducated unemployed. That time it will be wrong. This scheme is for educated but unemployed youth in rural areas and small towns. They are helped in setting up small businesses and industry. That is PMRY scheme. Then Rural Employment Generation Program, launched in 1995, create again self-employment opportunity in rural area and small town. A target of creating 25 lakh new jobs have been set for the program under the 10th 5-year plan. Okay. Then Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarozgar Yojana, launched in 1999. These are all in your mains answer you can list. Okay, because UPSC already asked a 10 marker question and 15 marker question in mains, telling explain all the poverty related schemes since independence. Okay, and in another format also they will ask, like what all government has done to fight poverty in the past, and what is the present situation in India. This is a mains real question, mains UPSC question. That time all these things you have to list. Okay, but you cannot write one passage about it, because then your word limit will cross. So you have to write two lines about each scheme, and that is why the NCERTs are useful. Okay, Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarozgar Yojana, here also again bringing assisted poor families above the poverty line by organizing them into self-help group through a mix of bank credit and government subsidy. Meaning bank is also involved, government is also involved. Okay. Then under the Pradhan Mantri Gramoday Yojana 2000, additional central assistance is given to states for basic services such as primary health, primary education, rural shelter, rural drinking and rural agriculture. So in one line you are getting the full gist of the scheme. Then in next chapter they have explained the Antyodaya Anna Yojana. That time I will explain. Okay, because next chapter is about food and security. So that time I will explain this Antyodaya Anna Yojana. Okay, remaining things you can note down. The result of these programs have been mixed. One of the major reasons for less effectiveness is the lack of proper implementation and right targeting. Again, it's not about announcing. It's about whether you're implementing it or not. Okay, like if like Modi announced like, okay, we'll do Swachh Bharat, that doesn't mean next day India will become clean. People have to implement it at the beaches, at the parks, at the road, everywhere you have to do that. Okay, same like building houses. If we simply tell we will build house for everyone, that doesn't happen. It will take years. It will take maybe 5 years, 10 years, 12 years and all. Okay, so you cannot blame the government like, okay, you announced in 2014 till 2019, why you didn't finish it? You cannot finish it. In this country like India, where this much people are there, different state governments are there, everybody are ruling as per their wish, you cannot implement something to 100% success. Okay, but as per time goes, you will see the result. Okay, you would have seen many schemes which are announced in 2014 and all. Now you are seeing like, okay, it is completed. Okay, like everybody are getting electricity, everybody are getting LPG. That will take time to complete. Okay. and there are a lot of overlapping of schemes, okay, because same thing they will announce in different. That's why if you see this government is merging ministries or sometimes merging the schemes. They are taking 5-6 schemes and calling it one single name. An umbrella scheme is made. This is all because there are many overlapping schemes in India. There are overlapping laws in India. From our constitution and all, many unwanted things, it's being removed, okay, because everything is kind of almost the same. And people are confused which one to apply. Even judiciary, there are a lot of laws. And now slowly merging and deleting is happening, okay. Now the challenges ahead is that poverty has certainly declined in India, but it is a compelling challenge and we cannot complete. As I told, the rural-urban problems are different. The different states' problem are different. The vulnerability issue, the caste issue, the people's mindset, this is also an issue. Then poverty reduction is expected to make better progress in next 10 to 15 years. That is what we are hoping. And mainly due to economic growth, increasing stress on universal free elementary education, declining population growth, increasing empowerment of the woman, economically weaker section being merged into society. All these things may bring a change. Okay, this is like in a conclusion line in your mains answer, you can write the official definition of poverty, however, captures only a limited part of what poverty really means to people. Okay, it is about a minimum subsistence level of living rather than a reasonable level of living. As I told, we are just caring about, okay, give him some house, give him some 2 times food. It's not like that. You have to have the reasonable level of living. Okay, you have to give education. You have to give, nowadays, you have to give internet also. Everybody should have internet, else you cannot live now. Okay, Digital India, all these things are made for including the poor people. Okay, that is why optical fiber cables are being set up in the villages and many things are done so that everybody has access to these shelter, healthcare, job security, self-confidence, caste and gender discrimination you should fight with, child labor should stop, all these things should stop. Okay, so it's not about just food, clothing and shelter. That was things of the past. Okay, now you cannot tell if you have food, clothing, shelter, you are rich. You are not rich by that. You have to have extra things other than this. Okay, and modern day, this problems also, gender equality problem, equal pay for everyone. There are many other things also, okay, which comes into the human level people. So this is the complete thing discussed in this chapter. And in NCERT, they give some questions which may not be of your level. It will be not UPSC level. But if you try to answer these, you will understand whether you understood this chapter and you can include properly in your mains answer. Okay. How the poverty line is estimated in India. Do you think that the present methodology of poverty estimation is appropriate? Describe poverty trends in India since 1973. Discuss the major reasons for poverty in India. Identify the social and economic groups which are most vulnerable to poverty in India. Give an account of interstate disparity of poverty in India. Describe global poverty trends. Describe current government strategy of poverty alleviation. Answer the following questions briefly. What do you understand by human poverty? Who are the poorest of the poor? What are the main features of National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, that is the Manrega scheme. Okay, so this, if you are seeing this and feel like I have taught you this properly, just hit a like button. Okay, because I have already covered all these things. Okay, there are certain things which you can take from current affairs also, like current government strategy. Obviously, you have to put more current affair things. Okay, then poorest of the poor means little bit imagination you have to include. And Manrega scheme means little data from the latest current affair and economic survey you have to include. So that is extra. That is current affair. But the static part, if you think I have taught you this properly, just hit a like button. Okay, now the final thing, the answers for the questions which I told in the starting. Poverty lines are higher in some states than in others because the price level varies. Okay, as I told people, how you can calculate poverty based on how much you earn and also how much you spend. Okay, so spending means what? You have to spend on products. So the price levels, some places vegetables will be high cost, some low cost. So that can be a reason, that is poverty lines would vary from state to state because of interstate price differentials. According to Planning Commission, in 2011-12, for rural area, the national poverty line is, as I told, not Tendulkar methodology, 816 per capita per month in villages, that is rural area, and 1000 in urban areas. Okay, the poverty line depends on the income profile of the population and the consumer expenditure. The poverty line is a function of cost of consumption basket, that is how many cereals, grains and all they buy. And this obviously the prices vary from state to state, and that is the reason you have different poverty lines in different states. Okay, this is a question number 1. Other question, increase in absolute and per capita real GNP do not connote higher level of economic development. Okay, so you have to understand two terms. There is one thing called economic growth and one called economic development. I have taught you already in the Ramesh Singh chapter. Okay, so this first thing which is written here, right, this is called economic growth. Okay, when the numbers increase, meaning increase in real or national income or national output, this is called economic growth. So this question basically is, economic growth do not connote a higher level of economic development if, okay, that is because if the poverty and unemployment increases, okay, Meaning economic growth, as I told, is the numbers increasing, meaning the quantity is increasing. Economic development means the quantity plus quality is increasing. Okay, improvement in quality, meaning you are getting education, you are getting literacy, you are getting better medical care, all these things. So if the economic growth, okay, the first part, a country experiences various economic changes such as the reduction in poverty and unemployment, then what will happen? If there is poverty and unemployment, means what? You will have reduction in income. Okay, there is a wealth inequality problem, there is increase in literacy rate, improvement in health, hygiene, etc. Only then it will improve the quality of life. Okay, when poverty and employment come, all these things which is needed for economic development will reduce. Okay, that is why I is telling poverty and unemployment increase. Okay, even when your numbers are increasing, that means you cannot tell we have development. There is no development if you don't have these extra things, and when you will not have these extra things when the poverty and unemployment is increasing. Okay, so this kind of CSAT level questions are coming. 2022 also another question came, but now I am showing you only 2 questions. Okay, so this is the UPSC level questions. So please tell in comment section if you want this and the next chapter, just do that. And if you're a new student, okay, just WhatsApp me and you will learn every single day free of cost. So thank you and have a nice day.